Welcome to the Creative Crew Podcast, where if it has been made, it can be talked about. I'm Rob Forte, and I'm joined by Jacob today over the intercom. How are you doing
Howdy.
today, sir?
Doing fine.
Yeah, so we weren't able to get together at any point this week. So, yeah, we,
True
we're gonna be
tragedy.
we're gonna be recording Mondays now. I actually got us a nice site that we're gonna be recording it at. Um, so yeah,
It's a
um,
tragedy. I
I
miss
know.
him so much. I'm alone here in my basement. There are spiders everywhere, along with mice, and it's cold.
Oh, it's cold in my basement too, bud.
Mm.
Except I'm wearing a t-shirt, so I can't really be complaining. So anyway, first topic of the day: game design and MMOs.
Mm.
We've been playing an MMO recently, haven't we?
We have our pseudo MMO.
Well, yeah. I'd like to call it an MMO, and I'd really like it to be more popular. So, without further ado, Spiral Knights. Yes,
I would sing you
Spiral.
the main theme, but it's really hard to sing.
So Spiral Knights. We've been playing a lot of this over the past couple days. He's actually up
Fun.
to what are you, Defender Elite now?
Uh, Level 8 out of 10? Yeah, out of 10.
Yeah, 8 out of 10. So these levels actually range from they're actually rated by depth instead of like actually difficulty, correct?
Yep.
So the depths range from 0 to 30, 30 being the hardest and 0 being the easiest. And I actually almost feel like I sort of cheated playing through the game because to the point right now, I've pretty much played it co-op only with, excuse me, Jacob, which actually has been pretty not been too terrible because we have been playing it on Elite, and I'm up to like 4 point or 4.43 I think I'm at, which is a decent ways in. That'll take you a couple hours, and it has a really amazing art style that I really enjoy.
For many people who out there who do not know or be familiar with Spiral Knights, it's a isometric third-person RPG that is MMO, as we mentioned before. It takes place on a foreign planet called Cradle. Your team crash lands there, and you're forced to explore the wilderness for a way to get off the planet. You take the role as one of the knights in this order, and you explore the depths of this planet.
Yeah, so a really interesting thing that they've actually been able to balance as opposed to a lot of other MMOs is their currency.
Yeah, it's a really, really fine example of currency balance because you have access, even without paying, it still uses a micro uh, purchase system, but you can get pay currency by playing the game and collecting in-game currency.
Yes, which I think the exchange rate is like 8,100 something to every 100 energy is the actual paid currency. So yeah, I found it really interesting. You will never find yourself in an abundance of crowns, which is the actual like currency that you earn through missions and doing other things. Crowns, everything costs pretty much everything costs crowns to do.
A
Whether
few
you're craft
things,
whether you're crafting something or you are like I do some missions cost a certain amount once you're higher.
yes, actually, there are a few special missions that you have to purchase keys to enter, and the keys cost energy.
Okay, so you could pretty much count that the energy is paying for the mission. So yeah, okay, yeah.
I, if I remember correctly, I think it's what is it? I think it's 500 energy to every. I believe it's like $3.
Probably about that.
So it's not a necessarily extremely expensive game. Some of the best gear in the game will only cost about, I think, 1,600 energy, which is $5. So it is expensive, but you can still do it just by playing the game. And a lot of uh, micro purchases systems need to learn from this kind of thing, as well as MMOs and balancing out their currency systems.
Yeah, which I believe multiple YouTubers have probably beat this to death with how badly some MMOs are balanced. Because a lot of things like when the game first starts and you get to like end game there, and you have the most valuable gear that you have or that you can get, but then everyone gets to end game. Everyone has ludicrous amounts of credits. Like me in SWOTOR right now, I think I have like three, like probably about 3 million credits just hanging around that I have nothing to do with because I already have the armor that I want. And I can't spend it on getting more cartel coins because that costs actual money. You can't switch cartel coins for credits. So I find myself like, well, what am I supposed to do with all my credits?
Yeah, I experienced this problem. Sometimes the problem arises before I even set the game. Halfway through the game, more money than I have any idea what to do with.
Yeah, that actually ended up happening when I was actually playing through SWORTOR, and it got to the point of um a meet. I probably had the armor that I wanted when I was probably about 20 25, level 25, and that is actually a still pretty low level in that game. Um, and it's really funny to me actually because I bought a lot of cartel coins with actual money to get the armor that I wanted. And I ended up selling the excess armor, like power ups and all that other stuff, on the cartel market, or not the cartel market, on essentially the auction house. I can't think of it right now, and I had a huge amount of money after I was done with that. So I bought dye for my armor because I don't want the um default armor color. So I did that, and that was pretty much the end of it. I didn't have anything else. Here's actually a picture of some of the Spiral Knights' art. I'm showing these right
Yeah,
now. I think it's pretty
but
cool.
yeah, they really got down, I think, the ratio of like how much grinding you have to do in this game until you get like the items you need. For a quick base of reference, about every mission, especially like in hard levels, you may be getting about uh 2,000 crowns every mission. But these missions take like, what would you say, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Probably
They're
about
not short.
Yeah, probably about 15, even 20 minutes for the longer ones.
Yeah, they're not short. And so that's time starts to add up a lot. So just to get about 8,000 credits to get 100 uh energy, you would have to play an hour of gaming, which
Yeah.
I mean doesn't sound like too much, except for the fact that once you get to really high levels, some of the most expensive items in the games are like 16,000 energy, or no,
Yeah.
1,600 energy. So you'll have to spend 16 hours of gaming just to get that item.
Yeah. Which really does add up because I remember a couple days ago we just kept playing and playing and I'm like, wait a second, it's 2:30 in the morning. Because you
Yeah.
you can actually get pretty lost in that game.
On top
Like,
of that, I will say it's not exactly, I wouldn't say it's as endless as most. The one thing I do enjoy about it is that it doesn't feel like World of Warcraft or some games that they just feel like games that were meant to go on forever. Spiral Knights kind of feels like it has a conclusion to it.
Yeah, and I actually am wanting to do a playthrough with you at some point of Spiral Knights just to show people what it is.
I'd be all for it.
So anyway, we talked about Spiral Knights. We talked about balancing MMOs, sort of,
If I may
sort of.
add one more thing, uh, if any of you out there haven't heard of a YouTube channel known as Extra Credits, I highly recommend you go check it out.
Yeah,
They're
Extra Credits is an awesome crew. They have a lot of game design stuff, a lot of game theory stuff. Not in like the game theory. We're talking about like the game like actually making the game, the production, the thought behind doing stuff. So they have a lot of good content if you're looking to become a game designer or part of a team that works on games. So they have a lot of really cool stuff.
And even if you don't just want to watch things about games, they also have other things. Like they've been recently doing a series on history.
Yeah. So anyway, um I noticed today that we actually didn't really cover last week what either of us really do as not professions, but as our forms of art. So I'd like to pass that to you, and I'll go second. What our basis of our work is.
Well, for me personally, I have been trying to study as a student of the general arts. So I've been studying in uh, small amounts of animation, digital art. I do physical arts like woodcrafting, as I believe I mentioned in the last episode. I do miniature painting, painting, physical painting, all sorts of stuff. I just I try to reach my hand into all different kinds of pots of art, and I do dabble in music.
Yeah. Um, I would like to say I stay more in the realm of digital things. I'll do, of course, they can see it right now. I have my giant mix board in front of me, my 24 channel monster. But then I got my keyboard in the background and everything else. My realm tech usually is around music and audio engineering, so I'll do a lot of that. But I also do a bit of voiceover as well as radio stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much where my basis is around. So
Mm.
I'll actually pass around the question, which I'd like to turn into the weekly question. Actually, of what we've been doing during the week, as far as our art is concerned.
Uh, as art is concerned, well, as art is concerned, this week it's been a pretty slow week. I've just been doing some minor sketching. As you know, I recently finished the cutting board last week. Uh, Shame I didn't get to show it. Otherwise, I haven't been too busy.
Yeah, I've been doing actually I've been trying to set up the new studio downstairs. I'm this is actually a temporary area that they're going to be seeing on my camera, but yeah, this is all temporary currently. This board will be moved into a more permanent area somewhere, probably around there. Um, but yes. So you heard of the of Drum Corps International?
I don't believe I have.
So you went to one of our shows last year for marching band, correct?
I did.
Um, so imagine that with on steroids,
Ah,
with no winds and like just brass. So like tuba, baritone, mellophone, trumpet, all those like field percussion, the snares, tenors, and then the bass drums, sometimes marching cymbals depending on the corps. But like the front lines are like 10 times bigger than the ours that we had. And I actually got to see one of them live at the like one of those big shows at Whitewater the July 5th, which was the Whitewater Classic. It's an annual thing. I think it's on its 52nd year. I hope I'm not wrong. I can't remember if that's the Whitewater Classic or Drums on Parade. It's like 52nd year. Um, but yeah, it's really awesome, and it's essentially taken like marching to a whole new level. It's turned it into a sport. Drum Corps International has been around for a long time, and drum corps have been performing for different places. My dad was in a drum corps. His brother was in a drum corps. Just they did a lot of really technical work, and it's really just awesome if you're into music at all or music as sports. They're really cool. It's nothing like the marching bands you see it performing at like any college football games or what have you. They're extremely precise, extremely extremely clean, if you want to say that. There's little to no deviation in lots of their percussion and their horn lines, and it's just really cool. Um, our school's band is actually going to be taking a turn more towards that route this coming summer, and I wanted not summer, but this coming fall. So what do you think of anything like that, like taking music to like a more athletic level?
I think, well, I think that might work a bit more with things like marching band and where there is a bit of physicality to it, as well as like I couldn't see anything like that with choir. I just don't think I really just don't think the mechanic would work as
Marching
well.
choir.
It would be so intense. Just
That
everyone's vocal cords are bleeding at the end. Ugh.
I have
It's
no because I I actually think I believe there was a study done that showed that during the 10 minutes of exertion on the field, with them playing, with them moving around, it's equal to a full time, I believe a full time, like I want to say basketball game,
hmm,
like the full time of a basketball game in equal amount of physical exertion.
I believe it.
Me more so because I'm carrying that really big bass
Big
drum.
ass drum.
That bass drum is huge. It's a 30-inch drum, so it's pretty much like this.
The
I'm trying to
the
fit it on camera here.
the BF drum.
Yeah, the BF drum. It's absolutely huge.
I've seen it.
So on the topic of music, actually, um, mu- I can't. I was going to the store the other, I think, believe it was Friday. I was going to the store Friday, and this was probably one of the saddest moments for me in a long time, and it was one of the the city's um music students. I'm not going to name the school, but it was essentially help save our music program, and just different music students were playing outside the store, um, just trying to raise money to help save their music programs. So what do you think of all these schools that are just depriving the arts department for more of like the um more um more like, I don't even want to say higher level thinking, because music can be such a high level if you let it be. Just like more, just ignoring the music program, ignoring all the art programs, and just focusing on like math, science, and all that. Because I do feel like math and science are important, but letting the students express themselves is a is something key that I think should be allowed.
Well, yeah, because part of the thing with in high school is when you go to college, that's like you gotta decide what you're gonna do in life. Well, if I'm not allowed to figure out what I want to do in high school, then what's the point?
Yeah.
And honestly, the music programs in schools, they can be a bit lackluster. It often takes a music director who really does care about their craft to pull it to a different level, to really have different experiences. And when they do, I know, I'm sure you've gotten a taste. I know you've gotten a taste of this. You know what I'm talking about. CAD.
Yes,
Uh,
calling all dawns. Our our music department at our school came together as a group. I believe it was the a cappella choir, correct? The a cappella choir, the I believe was cha, chamber orchestra, I believe. I hope I'm not wrong. Uh, and our symphonic band all got together and performed "Calling All Dawns" by
Eric Whitaker. Oh no,
Christopher Tin.
Christopher
Yeah.
Timm. Why was I
So
about to say Eric Whitaker?
Eric Whittick.
What
So
am I going on about?
we got to perform that, and it was just an absolutely amazing experience. A lot of like all the different sections were practicing on our own. The strings, the band, and the choir were all practicing by themselves. And I believe it was the night before we all got together, and I was actually emotional in the back of the stage because I'm in percussion, and I actually got slightly emotional during our practice because it was just like one of those just amazing experience of just like feeling every just like being able to feel every note and having everything come together, and it was like, wow, this is just amazing.
Yeah, it's something else. If anyone out there hasn't listened to it, go listen to it. Just on YouTube, just look up "Calling All Dawns" Christopher Tin. It's incredible.
Like even if you're not a fan of music, it's just a it's a it's almost cultural in a way. It just like has all these just like just the circle of life, and just seeing how just all these cultures, just like seeing the way that it was written, seeing all of these cultures just like blend, and just the circle that they I don't know how to explain it. It's just
It's
it's an amazing piece.
he called it, what was it? The cycle of music. A quick little note, something that was really
You're
interesting.
breaking up currently.
Am I?
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's all good.
Uh,
Oh, there you go.
okay. So I believe Christopher Tim called it cycle of music. And one interesting thing I noted in his score is the fact that it's divided into three sections: day,
Day, night, and
night,
dawn.
and dawn. Now, each piece is
You're still
titled.
breaking up, Jacob.
Am I? Well,
Yeah,
hey, this is garbage.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's really weird.
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, neither am I.
Hmm. Sorry, folks, we're having technical difficulties.
Technical
All right,
difficulties
put
all
up
the time.
RJ, put up the technical difficulties banner.
Just
And, elevator music. Am I still breaking up?
yeah, you're still breaking up. Let me just bring let me just bring this up real quick.
That was a true curse from the depths of my soul.
There we go. I got that going on the screen right now. But you know, still recording, still powering through, you know. We got
It's
to
gonna
get this done.
happen.
Oh my holy inception. All right. So, anyway, how far are we? 24 minutes. So, I actually did an animation for us, and it was
Beautiful.
the animation for the intro. And let me tell you, um After Effects is one of those things that I absolutely love and hate at the same time
The
because
good love hate.
because I was actually in a Skype call with someone earlier, and I was screen sharing. Like, why is this not working? And this is a person that's just like heavy After Effects user, does a lot of VFX stuff, and he just looked at my workstation and like, what the heck are you doing? So I was like, I'm doing what I know, and it was just like it was almost embarrassing because he was like, okay, change that to that, do that, and I'm like, oh,
You,
so
what is this garbage? You've been doing it wrong all along.
yeah, so it was eye opening to hear an opinion from someone else that actually knows how to use the program. You know, like, yeah, and he actually made the joke. You're like, okay, so this lesson is going to cost you $300, and I was like, no.
Sorry, friend.
So we uh, there was actually something I was looking at buying, and it's actually the humble bundle that's up currently.
Oh, there's a new Humble Bundle?
It's
God, why do I
the
not know about this?
it's the game development humble bundle.
Yay!
So $12 will get you App Game Kit plus a bunch of other things. App Game Kit 2 actually. So you can produce different like phone apps, and it can actually do stuff for the computer. So there's actually I believe it's Stencil or something like that. Let me actually bring it up. The Humble Bundle. That was not the link. So the Humble Bundle here. Um, so Game Dev Starter Pack Stencil. There's actually, I believe it was. Hmm, I can't remember. There's a 3D assets pack. A bunch of cool stuff. I think they actually went through and valued it at probably, I think they said $2,500 is the entire value of the entire bundle, and $12 will get you the entire thing.
Sounds about right for Humble Bundle. But seriously, the Humble Bundle is fantastic. If you can pay more, I recommend paying more because to me, these people are worth it.
Yeah, especially with all the stuff that they do for Child's Play, their charity, and I believe the other one, I can't remember the other the other charity that they're supporting currently, but
Yeah.
you can actually choose how your money is divided between all the different charities and the developers and such. So if you can, Humble Bundle does stuff for a really great cause, and yeah, support Humble Bundle. They got a lot of really cool stuff, and they put up stuff. What is it, bi-monthly or
I forget how Humble Bundle organizes.
I think it's bi-monthly. I want to say it's bi-monthly. Otherwise, I'm gonna look stupid. But yeah, they'll do Origin games. They'll do Steam games. They'll pretty much do everything from apps to different different mobile games. So they'll do a lot of really cool sales, if you want to call them sales. It's all for charity. It's all for really good a really good cause, and yeah. So anyway, this is the end of episode 2 of the Creative Crew podcast. We are proudly supported by Ideas Are Bulletproof Studios Network. If you have something that you want to take to the next level, whether it be cosplay, video making, commentating, or anything else, email ideasarbulletproof.tv@gmail.com. And yeah, I've been Rob Forte, and he has been Jacob, sort of.
Yo,
And we will.
I've I have been interrupted. I have bad connection.
So anyway, this has been the Creative Crew podcast, and we will see you next week, Wednesday.